Well, as you can see, pretty much there's a lot of some furnaces here that are pretty much only for the flying machine, so that the slime blocks don't take any other block here. This trapdoor is so that we can update the flying machine, and then this cool chair is for you to look into the beautiful Minecraft landscape. Now I've set my render distance down so that I can record this video without any lag. So yeah, and then we just go around here. Got a hidden chest, a crafting table if you want it there, and then we got some potted plants, and here we have like a industrial area. So this is our super smelter here. You put all the items you want to smelt in there, the fuel goes in there, and your smelted items come out there. Now this is like a really small one, but we're on a mountain base, what are you expecting? And then this is like this is my nano farm. It's really simple to make, it's not much to it. If you want a tutorial, let me know down in the comments. I'll just show you how it works right now. You gotta get the timing right on this one, that's important, and I think I need it first try, pretty much. So you get some wheat. It's pretty easy to get wheat in this one. You just hold down right click and you get your wheat. You do use some bone meal, of course. You always use some bone meal. But yeah, this is not the fastest design, but it works and it's small and it fits and it doesn't look that bad. So yeah, that it meets all my criteria for being in a base. And also I've thought out something that would make it look better. To hide this. Oh my god, that makes so much difference. Yeah. Okay. So this is the shack here. This is like an industrial area of the shack, and then we have this here, which I'll show you at the end of the video. Pretty cool, right? I don't know. It is pretty cool, honestly. So yeah, let's get into the base now. Open this thing. So we just walk here. There's nothing here. This is a small balcony, and then this here is like my defense tower to intimidate intruders. When you flick these levers, there's like arrows going out on the hill. Now honestly, this is not a really good defense system, but you just need to intimidate people. You don't need to actually use stuff. So we have this basically here that as a defense system and to intimidate people, and then we have some more potted plants here, and then we'll go inside the base now. Are you ready? So now I'm gonna go inside this base. This is a $1 million mansion. No, $22 million mansion. So let's go in. So we have a quick table here. So we don't have much real estate here, but I've tried to make it as good as possible. So yeah, we have a table here, and then quite a nice rug, a bed, and this lamp is pretty good. It's pretty interesting as well. So let's set the time to night, and as you'll see, so as soon as pretty much the light falls, you can sleep, and this light goes on indicating that you can sleep in the bed. You don't have to spam it. So yeah, basically that's what this light does. Now we have this light here. You can pretty much just switch it. So it's just a block swap in the ceiling, but it's quite cool. I always like hidden lighting systems. If you watch my videos, you know I love my secret stuff. So let's quickly set the time today, and let's continue with the video. So let's time is day. And then we have some bed here, some storage here, some furnaces, a dropper for extra storage, a chest there, and a crafting table, of course, because you need to have a crafting table in your base. And then you got a window here, some windows here, and some more windows here, which before some time used to give a quite nice view into the hills and the forest. But now we have a shack here. Doesn't matter. We got some nice flowers out there. That's what is important. And probably you missed one very important thing that is in here: the storage for all your secret items that are very valuable. So pretty much I'm gonna show you how to get them. So what you do here is you just go in here, and then you throw one redstone in there on the crafting table, and then as you can see, all your stuff starts falling in here. So as you see, it's pretty much, it's really quick. All your diamonds will flow into here. You can take them out if you want, just shift click them or whatever, and then you see you got all your stuff here. Now it will continue until unless you just put one more restaurant in there. So this is pretty much to stop it from unloading all its items, and then you just throw all your stuff that is important to you on this carpet. It has a hopper under it, and then it just goes back into a dropper on the bottom, and then you can store up to 9 stacks of items in there. I think that's pretty good valuable item storage, and you got a lot of storage here. You could just put more chests here if you want, but I thought the windows look pretty cool, so I left them there. And also again, you should all appreciate this ceiling light. Hidden lights are always awesome. I was trying to do something with this item frame, but then I couldn't do anything much because there was some balcony. So yeah, this is pretty much the whole house completed. Now we'll just see the redstone behind this. I knew I'll forget something, and I forgot to talk about that thing there. So this is just the cool way for me to exit my base. So if I'm standing in here, I could just go there and then just, oh no, I'm not good at jumping. Don't judge my jumping skills. Come on now. You know what? I'm so bad at I'll make it too wide, and then you can just do that. And then if you stand perfectly in the perfect place, I hope it works first time, and it did. And then that's how you escape the base. Just pretty much launch yourself out of there. So yeah. Now let's continue with what I was saying. Hey, if you're a person who likes quick cuts and really fast moving video, now is no time for you, because now I'll be explaining everything and going over everything I've created. So let's get into the bottom section for this one. So what I have here is just a flying machine, a 2x2 flying machine. I was going to make 1x2, but then I was like, no, that's for noobs. I can do better than that. So yeah, I created that, but then I was like, okay, that is too obvious. I need to make it hidden. So I made this. These are basically trapdoors that take the blocks out, and then they are connected and perfectly timed. And there's a lot of redstone going on here. This green line activates this flying machine when it opens. Yellow line is connecting all the trapdoors, and it's timed perfectly there. This blue line detects when this flying machine comes back, and it has a little bit of logic here, so that you know where it is. When it comes back, it to open and close the doors with perfect timing. These doors, so when the flying machine is going to open, you need to extend these and retract these, and then the flying machine goes. And when the flying machine returns, first, and then these close. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on in there. This pretty much took me like 2 hours to make. It's quite a time, and it was very frustrating 2 hours. And then what I have here is just a quick door 2x1, and that's pretty much it, hooked up to my hidden torch key. So this is, I think, the smallest hidden torch key in the world. I have designed this. I have a video about this in my advent calendar series. Oh no, I activated those. But yeah, so the torch key activates this. It's just so small. The torch key is extremely small. And then what I have here, just in case your flying machine is up here and you forgot to return it, we have that second entrance there, and I just quickly go in there and show you the restaurant about in there. No, I just done the wrong thing. So I don't know my own hidden entrances now, huh? So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is where you enter, and this is not. Oh wait, no, what? Wait. So this is pretty much what we have here. It's just really simple. So we have a block stopper here. This is the thing again I showed in my advent calendar series. So the bubble elevator that I showed in my advent calendar is this one. It's the same thing. And then we just have like a delay, and it goes and hits it again. Switch it back to magma so that they can come down easily. Now this, I have a glass tube here which is pretty exposed. If you want to make it hidden, you can of course make it hidden. But I like to keep my bubble elevators made out of glass and quite exposed. And then quickly go over the other redstone things we have. So this chair does not have any redstone personally. Okay, yeah, that flying machine, it's just the basic flying machine plus some flying blocks and some stripped spruce blocks. And then what we have here is just an observer clock, and then these levers constantly power the dispensers. Hence they don't always fire, they're constantly powered, they don't update, and they don't keep on firing continuously. Oh wait, I forgot to put this thing in to my video. You know what, hold on, I'll cut and add that in segment in there, and then I'm gonna switch back. Completed that segment. Now this one is just a quick TNT launcher. That's nothing special going on here. So yeah, I think I did this again in my advent calendar series. The advent calendar series, if you haven't seen it, those 24 videos, they will be really awesome for you, and they're really practical videos again. So yeah, let's talk about this now. I could have covered this. I didn't cover it. Oh, come on. So I just need to do that. So this is pretty much what I have created here. The super smelter is a really basic double chest going into a furnace. Oh no. I did this again in my advent calendar series. I think it's the super smelter video. And then this one I have not done in my advent calendar series. Finally something I have not done in my advent calendar series. And it takes a lot of time to say advent calendar series. So I will say ACS. Yeah. I have not done this in my ACS. That sounds wrong. I won't say it. I don't know why it sounds wrong, but that does not have a ring to it. So yeah, this one is just pretty much 4 dispensers constantly firing out bone meal, and then this one just going up and down, giving the thing a light update, and when it does not have enough light, it won't grow and pop off. That is how we break it. At the back of this, we have like a stair with a waterlock stair in there, so that the water does not leak out. That's pretty much it for the shack. And then there's nothing special going on in here. When we get in here, there's a lot of stuff. So this thing here, this bottom thing here, this bedtime timer, it's made by Mambo Jumbo. I'll leave the link to the video or the tutorial of the video of this thing down in the description. I modified it a bit, like I changed the layout, so his was like in a different way, but I just kind of make it fit in my area, so I just make it like a little smaller. And then what I have here for my secret I don't know, valuable item thrower thingy is just I have a crafting table there, and then I have this Minecraft hopper there, which goes into an item sorter. Now if you didn't know about it, you could just throw anything, and after you throw 5 items that are not redstone dust, this would get stuck. But honestly, why would you go up to a crafting table and throw stuff at it? So yeah, you know what, honestly sometimes you do that when you don't have enough space in your inventory, but you know what, just ignore that, because me smart, because I'm smart, and you can't see my face because I'm a ghost. Yeah, I'm smart, that's why we'll ignore that. So I might not be able to control this properly. Yeah, this is pretty much what this is here. And then, oh yeah, sorry, I totally forgot, my train of thought just went away. So yeah, this goes in here, the item sorter, and then what we have here is when it gives an update, we have it going through a monster circuit that goes into this, and that starts this observer clock. So when you throw it once, it pretty much puts this observer up there, and when you do it again, it pulls it down. So that's why it constantly keeps on activating. It goes into the block, gets down, powers this block. There's a dropper on it with all your stuff in there, and the hopper there just goes into the dropper, and then it just quickly fires it up into this dropper. Now I tried to do it with a furnace, but it does not work, and a chest you could easily see the dropper, and I didn't want that, so I had to go with a dropper there. So yeah, and then I'll quickly show you this. This is nothing special. It's just a ceiling block swapper, which is a little which I modified a little bit with this torch here, not in this spot. That's not really count as modification. And then I just did that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and you like the restaurant in this one. But anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be coming out on Thursday. Again, the same time that I post usually, and it will be behind the scenes. Bye bye. This week announcement. PewDiePie. I don't know if that was a good impression. I don't care. Bye bye.
Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today I have a showcase, tutorial and explanation of this brilliant one wide potion brewing system. Honestly, it's a great design. It's one wide, tileable, cheap, easy to build and really small. Now, if you see, the volume of this build is actually 66 blocks. That's really small. Now, the materials used to build this contraption are really easy to get. I mean, there's only repeaters and redstone torches and some hoppers. And honestly, you could build it early game as well. So it's actually a really smart design as well. So let's move on to the tutorial. So before we move on to the tutorial, I would just like to show you how this works. So you come here and press, so you can see this is empty. You press the button, and the shulker box gets filled up with the potion you wanted to brew, and another one starts to brew, and that's how it works. So let's move on to the tutorial. So let's begin with the tutorial. So this is how the setup looks. We have the brewing stand there and our output there. Now this is our input block, and this needs to be a wooden button input. And then let's start with the tutorial. So you put a redstone torch behind your input block, and then you take 2 blocks and place them in front of the redstone torch. Then you take 2 repeaters and put them going out of the redstone torch, both set to 4 ticks. Now we take another block and put them in front of the repeaters, and you put a redstone torch behind it. Then we take another block and put it on top of the redstone torch, and then we take a redstone torch and put it in front of it. Then we take another block and put it on top of the redstone torch and in front of it, and then we take a repeater going out from that block. Set it to 4 ticks, and let's put a hopper going into the brewing stand. Now we take a chest and put it on top of the hopper, and take another hopper and then put a power rail on top of it, and then we take a torch and put it behind the block, and then we take some other blocks or any blocks, and then we put it on top of this torch, and then we put a torch on top of it, and then we take another block and put it on top of that torch, and then we take a torch and put it behind or in front of the block, and then we take another block and put it on the top of this block, and then we take a torch and put it in front of it, and then we just make a quick torch tower, just something like this. So you alternate all the blocks, and then you put in your redstone torches. That's it. And now we take some droppers and put them in front of the redstone torches. Now we just go something like that, and this should be enough for your normal potions. Now what we do is take some hoppers and droppers and alternate them going into this brewing stand. So we have got the hopper there, dropper, hopper. This just saves on some iron required to make the hoppers, and it's actually lag friendly, so we do all that. Now that's the tutorial done. So now let's just move on to some quick tips, or actually needs that you need to know. You have to fill all these slots, 4 of these, with some items that cannot go into a brewing stand. Then you can use any blocks. I just have used red and blue to differentiate the circuits. And then also you can use some torches, regular torches, to minimize the lag caused by the light updates. So because we're using these torches, they cause some light updates, and you can actually use torches to minimize the number of light updates you cause, and hence making it more lag friendly. So that's just the tutorial done. Now let's move on to the explanation. Now also you need to pre-fill this with blaze powder. Now this should do around 32 double chest of potions, and that should be enough. And then you need to fill this with some bottles, but you can refill it always with the minecart. Yeah, now let's move on to the explanation. So let's move on with the explanation. Now I will try my level best to give you as good of an explanation as possible, but it's quite easy to understand anyway. So what this circuit does, the red circuit, is it takes out the precise number of bottles from here and it puts in the precise number of bottles. So you press a button, there's a delay of the torch, and then it lets some bottles go out in the choker box. Then after some amount of delay again, it lets 3 bottles go into the brewing stand. Now let's talk about the blue circuit. What the blue circuit does, it basically fills in the ingredients into the brewing stand. So you just pre-program them, and then the torch tower just activates the dispensers and your design just works. That is all the blue circuit does. Now let's talk about this small part here. Now this is just for convenience, you don't need to have it, but it's good to have it. So what it does is it makes it easy to fill. So when you make the design, you will of course style it. So it will be really difficult for you to come here and fill these bottles. So what it does, it just makes it easy for you to refill your bottles without going into this mess of redstone and filling up your bottles. That's just for convenience though, and it's not necessary. That's the explanation done. And now let's move on to another small segment I recorded. Now since you all have made it this far into the video, I thought it would be right to show you this kind of setup. So I just made a quick setup about how you should use this. So there's a minecart system that I talked about earlier, and this is just an infinite water source. So let me just show you how to make this quickly. So you come here, you place your trapdoor like that, and then you place another trapdoor, oopsie, just like that. Just quickly fix that, and then you waterlog this trapdoor like that, and there's it done. Now this is really convenient, so because you can just go here, then you can just take some glass bottles real quick, and then what you can do is just stand here and fill the bottle, and then you can just come here, shift click them, all of them into this chest, press the button, and there it goes, filling all of those chests with water bottles. Really easy, really convenient. And of course, you can find a world download in the description. Make sure you share this video with all of your friends so that they can build this awesome design in their world. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Ha! Strength. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 7 of the Restaurant Advent Calendar 2018. And today we'll be taking a look at minecart loading and unloading system. So I'll quickly show you how the item unloading system works. So this is how the setup looks. Now I'll just quickly, as you can see, the minecart is going back and forth, and I'll just quickly put some items in there and it will stop and unload. As soon as all the items unload, it will start back again and do its work. Now this is great for item collection systems, especially in mob farms and things of that sort. Now I'll show you how the second design works. Now let us take a look at the loading system. So basically this loads this minecart, chest minecart, and it sends it away. So as you can see, it's currently working as it normally would. And then if I just take some items, and I just quickly split this into 8. Oh, okay, I just quickly put 8 in there. As you can see, this minecart chest fills up and it goes. So this is great for if you want to make item transportation systems, or if you want to link all of your farms together with a chest. You could just build this and link them all together. Again, this is how it looks. As you can see, that's how to make it. I have already shown you how to make this. So this is just one wide, so you can easily make these. So I'll just quickly explain you how these work. So the way this works are, so first one is very simple. So when the minecart comes here, it puts down an item here, and this comparator powers, detecting that item, and it just quickly powers off this redstone, power rail, a powered rail. And then when same thing happens here, when you put some items here, this comparator detects that, turning off this redstone torch and cutting off the power to this powered rail, and hence making it unpowered, and the minecart does not move anymore. That is how both of the system works. Now let us move on to a quick and very important note. First and the foremost, I have got both of these designs from a website. I will leave a link down in the description for that. And the other thing is, the world download for this world with all of the creations we have created will be available on the 24th. So that's the final day of the Restaurant Advent Calendar, and on 25th we'll be taking a look at all the things we have worked on. That is how you make minecart loading and unloading systems in Minecraft. And if you want to learn how to make some really cool circuits that you can put in your redstone contraptions, and some really cool contraptions that you can put it in your redstone, your world, check out the Redstone Advent Calendar playlist. It's in the top right hand corner of your screen. It's awesome. I will highly recommend you check it out. You can check out all of these builds, and day 4 is especially my favorite, so I think you should definitely check that one out. But yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today I have a showcase, tutorial and explanation of this awesome custom number item dispenser. As you can see, this is one wide and it is also tileable. Now I'll just show you how this works. So I have configured it so that it drops 16 items. As you can see, there are 1 stack and 16 right now. And when I cause an update to this piston, it will start dispensing all these blocks at me. And soon enough, as you can see, we have 64 items left and 16 in my inventory. That is the showcase done. Now let's move on to a quick tutorial. Now let me show you how to make this real quick. So what you do, you have your dropper there, and then you take some dispensers, you put them such as this, and then you put the face going up, and then you put an observer just above 1 block of the previous observer, and then you put a piston on top of it going into its back, just like so. And then you take 2 hoppers, and then you put them on the level of the observer and put them going into each other, and then you put a redstone block on the one on the right side, and then you take your piston and put it going into the back side of the redstone block, such like as this, and then you take some blocks and put them just below the level of the hoppers, and then you put a comparator going out from the hopper on the right side, and then you take two blocks and put them just going out from the comparator, and then you take a piston and put it below the second block, such as this, and then you just take an observer and put it going out into that block, and that's your build done. So to just make this work, what you do is, if you want to dispense 64 items, you just take 32 just like so and put them here, and then you can fill this up with however many blocks you want, and then when you cause an update to this piston, it will work. That's the tutorial done. Now let's move on to a quite long explanation. Now let me explain this to you. So we'll start with the easiest and then move on to a little complex mechanics. So this part that actually fires the dropper is just a quick observer clock. So you just put them facing into each other, just like so, and they create a quick clock that you can easily use everywhere. And this part here with the hopper and the redstone block and the piston is just a modified version of the etho hopper clock, so that I can make a one white clock which will give me the long duration. And at the end here, this is just a butted piston, so this is actually powering this block, and this piston does not realize that, and as soon as I cause it an update, it will realize it and extend, and then this observer detects it and fires this piston, puts the etho hopper clock into action, and when this is extended, this piston extends and starts the observer clock, and a dropper fires the items out. Now let me tell you how the reset works. So first of all the items from this hopper go into this hopper, and that deactivates or unpowers this comparator, and then this piston pulls down, this observer detects that and pulls back this redstone block, allowing all the items from this hopper to go into this hopper. That also pulls back this observer, disabling the redstone observer clock, and that stops all the items coming out of this dropper. That's the reset done. Now let's move on to some ways you can use this. So this is the first and the most obvious use. So what you can do is, you can just put some items in there and then just put some chests and hoppers so that you can store all those items that will go into that dropper. And then what you can do is just put a piece of string here. As you can see, there's a piece of string there, and then when I walk through this, just clear my inventory, and then I walk through this, cause an update, and then it will give me 16 items. Now this could be food or blocks or literally anything you want, and you could even put this at 10 stacks if you really want to. Now let's just move on to another quick use. I know a lot of you love to make your quick armor recouping sessions, so when you die you can just quickly get your stuff back. So this is great for that. What you can do is just make one and then put it for 3, and then it will drop 3 stacks of whatever configuration you want of items. So that could be blocks, some food, some arrows, and then what you could do is just give this piston an update, put it a water stream here, and then what will happen is it will just drop that many items for you, and it will just work. Oh, actually I forgot to put in some items here. Just quickly put in some items just to show you all it works. So let's put some chests here, and let me just clear my inventory real quick, and then I'll just go there, got an update, and as you can see, it does drop 16 items of each, as you can see there. Now I do understand, if you want to build this in your base, you cannot just have such a long tunnel for one dropper. So what you need to do is just put a block there, and then put 2 repeaters here, and then put a block there just behind this dropper. Or if you just want to build a standalone, you can just make it something like this, and then just walk in, get your 16 items, and run away. Yay. Now this has a million other uses, so let me know some other uses for this so that everyone can learn together in the comment section below. Just a quick note, there's not a world download for this because this is just so quick to throw down, and there's so many variations we can make with this. So yeah, remember that. Now that is a custom number of item dispenser. And now if you want to make a 64 item dispenser that you can just go in and get your 64 items, and just go through and get your 64 item dispenser, you can check the card on the right side of your screen. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Today we'll be making a secret, simple starter house in Minecraft. Let's go. Hello, friends and fellow Minecrafters. It's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 16 of the Restaurant Advent Calendar 2018. And today we'll be taking a look at a secret starter house. It's also very practical. Let's start. Now, I'll quickly show you around the base that I have built. Now, this is highly customizable, so you can easily make whatever you want, but this is what I have made. So we'll start here and move our way to the back side. So I have a double chest there, and then I have a bed on top of it, which works, and I'll show you that. And then I have the piston and the restaurant block, that is just the input mechanism. And then I have 3 furnaces, which you can access. Then I have a crafting table there, and then I have 2 more double chests there. I have an anvil here and an anvil here. I have an ender chest here, a brewing stand there. I have 2 furnaces there, 2 furnaces there, an enchantment table, and then I have another double chest below that. And basically that's the whole setup done. You could even put jukeboxes, infinite water sources, whatever you like. This is again highly customizable. You could build whatever you want. You don't have to make what I have made, but if that's what you want to do, go ahead. I don't have any problems. Now I'll quickly explain you how the design works. Now let's quickly go up. Yeah, let's start. Let's go with the explanation. Now there's not much to explain here, but I'll do it anyway. So what I have here is an input, and then I have a piston, a piston block on it, which goes into a vertical double piston extender with 4 slime blocks on it, and then 4 normal blocks on it. Now I did try to make it without using any slime blocks, but unfortunately it's not reliable, and sometimes you can glitch through the floor, and you don't want that to be happening, right? That's why we have used slime blocks. It also simplifies the system a lot, because then you only have to use 1 double piston extender. That's what this is, basically a vertical double piston extender, the input circuitry, and then 4 slime blocks and 4 normal blocks on top of it. That is basically how the whole system works. Like that, it goes down, and coming up is really fast, like that. Now let's move on to the nodes. This video has multiple nodes, and all of them are important, except for the one that the world for this design will be available on the 24th day of the Advent Calendar, and on Christmas we'll look at all the designs we have worked on. Now let's start with the important nodes. First of all the blocks around the slime blocks need to be, and again, need to be immovable, because if you add any blocks that the slime blocks can stick to, your system will break and you will have problems. So remember that you should not have any of these blocks here, these blocks here, these blocks here, and these blocks here, which can stick to slime blocks. Now most of the blocks you will use won't stick to slime blocks, but it's good to know that you don't have to put any, you should not put any blocks that stick to slime blocks in these spaces. Let's move on to the next note. Now I told you that I'll make sure that you know that this design, this bed, you can actually sleep in it without taking any damage. So I'll quickly prove that. But first, for that you have to set the time to night, and I'll quickly do that. Time set night. Let's do that. As you can see, it's night now, and if I sleep in the bed, it does seem to glitch out a little, but it's fine. And as you can see, it's day now, and I have not taken any extra damage. So that's it, proof that this design actually works just fine. That is how you make an awesome starter house in Minecraft. Now this could be a secret base, secret starter house if you want, and if you want that, you would require a secret hidden input to activate it. Top right hand corner of your screen. Or this could be just a normal base that you build, which is hidden. Whatever you want to do with it, I'm fine with it. As long as you love it, it's good. And if you want to check out some really cool contraptions, make sure to check out the Restaurant Advent Calendar series for 2018. For example, you can check out my last video for hidden storage system. It's really cool and you should definitely check it out. And anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. Bye. Also, before we end, I'm recording this video for the second time because the first time the video was jittery and I didn't like the quality and I wanted to get you the best quality. So I'm making this for the second time. So let me know what you think of that in the comment section below. Do you think I should record a second video, or do you think I should just post the first one even though it's bad quality? Let me know in the comments below. Bye-bye. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today we'll be starting a new series, Redstone Advent Calendar 2018. In this series, I'll be telling you and teaching you about some quick circuits you can add to your redstone contraptions. Today is day 1 and we'll be starting with comparator pulse extender. I won't be doing a block for block tutorial in this series, but I will explain you all the contraptions in depth. So let's start with the one tick input. Now quick confession before I start with the explanation. I'm recording this clip or the segment after the entire video is recorded. So when I'm editing this, I actually saw that this one is not actually working. The one that I was showing you in the previous video. So yeah, when you look at the other video, this will be differently done. I just wanted to put that out there. Now let's quickly see how this works. I give it a one tick input, and then this actually delays the clock. Delays the signal. And then how this works is I have a monitor table here to demonstrate a one tick, and then whatever your signal is goes into a 4 tick repeater, a repeater set to 4 ticks, and then it just goes into 2 redstone dust, and then 4 comparators in total, 2 going in one way, and then you take the output from this block going into the redstone lamp. Now this is how this one works. Now let's move on to the wooden button input. So let's start with the wooden button input. Now this is the longest delay you can have. This is the longest input. This, I think it's 1.5 seconds, and this is how long it can last. So you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually 16 comparators in total, and 8 comparators going one way. And as you can see, this is almost like perfectly timed, so it does not fade out, and this lasts for a very long time. And this is a good time to mention how to make this real quick. So you take your comparators and just put them going in one direction and then the other. They need to be next to each other, and then you just put 2 redstone dusts next to each other near the input, and then on the left side or the right side, you could, or actually on the side that's in which the comparator is facing, you just put a block, and then you put a redstone dust next to it going back into the other line of comparators, and then you can take the output from that redstone dust. That is how you build this, and this is the longest you can have a comparator pulse extender with a wooden button input. Now let's move on to the stone button input. So let us talk about the stone button input. Now this is a slightly shorter delay, or the input. It lasts for about 1 second, and when I press this like this, that's like 20 ticks, and then it delays the length a lot of time actually. And then you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comparators, and 10 in total, 5 in one way, and I already told you how to make this. And you can take the output from the same place again. Just to let you know, you can use a total of 10 comparators. If you use any longer, it will just create a clock there, and yeah, that's like a slowly fading clock. It's useful in some cases, but we're talking about pulse extenders here and not clocks. So yeah, that's the stone button done. Also in this whole video, the redstone comparator extenders I'm showing you are the maximum you can make. Of course, you can, in the wooden button input, you could just use 2 if that's the delay you want, but I'm just showing you the maximum so you know what the maximum is. Just a quick note before we end this video, this block here actually extends the pulse and makes it longer, and if you replace this with a redstone dust, piece of redstone dust, it makes the length shorter. It's good to know that. Oh, and yeah, the world download will be available on the 24th day of the Advent calendar. That is how you make comparator pulse extenders in Minecraft. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and stay tuned for the next one. Today we'll be making 2 simple super smelters. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 11 of the Redstone Advent Calendar 2018. And today we'll be taking a look at simple super smelters. Real quick before we start, both of these are really early game furnaces, and they are just beginner and like just throw down and smelt some item type of furnaces. They're not meant to be something that you use industrially. So yeah, keep that in mind when you watch this video. So let's begin with our first design. This is a 2 furnace design, so it basically uses 2 furnaces, and then what you do is you put all of your items that you need to be smelted. So you put all your items in this one here, and then you put all your fuel here in this chest, and this is your output. So that's your output. So this is how basically the system works. So when you put in all your items that need to be smelted, I'll just quickly put in some sand, and as fuel we'll put in some coal, like that. So when I sorry for that. And when I put in the sand, it distributes it equally between the two furnaces, my bad. And then we take some coal and it is distributed as well to both the furnaces, like so. As you can see, this is 13. It has been increased by now. So this is really fast when, like, for early game speeds. But yeah, this is really good. Now let's take a look at the second design, which has 8 furnaces. So let's quickly take a look at the second design. So when I put, you put all your items that need to be smelted in the top minecart with chest, and in the bottom one you put all of your fuel, and then you flick this lever, and both the minecarts go away, and the items start to smelt. Now this is really fast. Again, early game, very important. So yeah, it is like you do get some items really quick. So as you can see, it goes pretty fast. And even our last design is working just fine. Yeah, I think that is a good look at them. Now let me tell you how to make them and explain them. So this first design is really simple. The way it works is, when you put 2 hoppers below a double chest, both of them take out items simultaneously and thus distributing the items equally. And that is what this whole system basically is. Items distributed equally, again items distributed equally into 2 furnaces, and they smelt it and put it down into the output chest. Really nice, really fast, and of course really small. I like this design a lot. I have used this design a bunch during my early days. The second design will take a little more time, but it's pretty simple to understand. So let's start on the left and move our way to the right. So what this thing here does, this block is not needed. So what you do is, you hard power this block, and then you soft power this block. Now you need to soft power this block, or you can actually even hard power this, but it's not a problem. So you cannot make something like this here, for example, because this will be hard powering this and stop items from going into this hopper and just not distributing them equally. Oh, our items already done. That was fast. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, so that is what this system does. It basically is your on off to control all the minecarts going forward and backwards. And then you have to have these 2 normal rails, because then you stop them from being powered due to these. If I just put these rails here, they will be powered, but because then, so if you have to control them, right? So if you want to control them, you put normal rails here so that you can switch them off and on whenever you want, like so. Now let me explain to you this part. So this is basically a furnace with a hopper on it, and then a rail on it, and then a hopper going out from it towards the chest. That's basically repeated 8 times here, and that's what you have to make. That distributes the items into all of these chests, and it works not chests, furnaces. And yeah, that is how the distribution works. And then this torch here is just to power both of these tracks so that they are activated. That is what this torch does. And these 2 blocks are here so that the minecart can bounce off them and go back into the direction. This chest is your output chest. Let me quickly label that for you. I will quickly get a sign like that. And now this is your output. That's not how you spell output. That is how you spell output. That is your output chest there. And this system is relatively fast. So if it's like your 5th day off in the world, I think you can pretty much make this design and get away with it. It's really awesome. Now let's move on to the favorite section, the quick notes. Welcome to the notes section. Today we have multiple notes again. So the first and foremost, as I mentioned at the start, these are not late game furnaces. These are really early game ones, and they're not that fast, but they're pretty good. Now moving on to the second note. I do really apologize to you all, because I know my voice sounds different and much worse because my cold just got worse. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just keep on making these videos even though I get like worse health. I just like making these, honestly. That were some really simple super smelters in Minecraft. If you love this episode, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to learn some really quick contraptions that you can put in your world, make sure you check out the series for the restaurant advent calendar. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Today we'll be making a deadly turret in Minecraft. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 18 of the restaurant advent calendar 2018. And today we'll take a look at a really simple turret. So let me quickly show you how the design works again. So as you can see, we're spitting out a lot of arrows and some fire charges along with the arrows, and as you can see, this is pretty deadly if you look at it. Yeah, now let me explain you how the design works. So this is a really simple design. What we have here is an observer clock. So that's basically two observers facing into each other, and then I have a lever here. So this lever is constantly powering these 5 blocks, and that stops them from being activated and deactivated, and in turn stopping them from shooting. So that is how the design works. So when I unpower this, they power and unpower, they're shooting out all the arrows and fire charges. Now they don't need to be fire and arrows, fire charges and arrows. They could be literally anything which is deadly and which is easy for you to farm or put in the things. Okay, now let me quickly tell you some notes. So let's quickly start with the notes for this episode. First of all, when you get a world download, you will find these 2 blocks here. Now, since we are dispensing out fire charges, there is a chance that they might go into unloaded chunks, and actually they have, and therefore I put this thing. This basically puts some obsidian like a firing range, and after you're done, you could just clear the obsidian like so. Simple and easy. Now again, these don't need to be filled up with arrows and fire charges. You could put whatever you want, but this is personally what I have put. As you can see, 2 of each. These are simple, and they are really deadly if you're not wearing any armor. I think only 2 arrows can kill you pretty simply. Yeah, that are some good notes for this episode done. That is how you make a super cool turret in Minecraft. And if you like this episode, you will definitely love my previous episode. It was about an super cool and musical anvil replacer. So you should definitely check that out. And if you want to check out some really cool contraptions that you can put in your world, make sure to check out the restaurant advent calendar series for 2018. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. Okay, so you have made it this far into the episode, so I thought you should know, or you should get a showcase of this, how this design works. So let's just quickly do that. I'll just quickly go into the range, and I'm not wearing any armor, and this is not good. I died. Today we'll make a simple working shower in Minecraft. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 21 of the restaurant advent calendar 2018, and today we'll take a look at a simple working shower. So yeah, I have spiced up the design. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you again how this works. So you have to flick the lever, and then you can quickly take a shower like so. Now this is really awesome design, and I love the way it works. Yeah, so this is how basically it works. Now I'll quickly explain the restaurant behind this. Oh yeah, of course, before that we need to switch this off like that. And now let's quickly move on to the redstone. The redstone behind this design is actually very simple. It's basically an observer clock, and then there are 2 observers facing these 2 observers in the observer clock, and then this one just simply goes into a block. That causes a 1 tick delay in its signal, and that causes this dispenser to change its power after every 1 tick, and that's just alternate. So what happens is, basically this piston is getting, this is not piston, the dispenser is getting powered, unpowered, powered, unpowered, and that is basically just changing the state and dispensing and retracting the water bottle and the water bucket, and that is what causes this effect. And I just simply love it. And also this particle effects, they just look like a star to me. I don't know, it's just super cool. That is how the restaurant behind this works. And yeah, the shut off mechanism is basically when I flick this down, like, okay, yeah, it might not work sometimes. It might take some tries to get it perfectly timed. Yeah, so basically, like,
quickly change the state so that it works the next tick. So the off mechanism is pretty simple as well. That lever just goes into this block which powers this piston, which pushes this observer down. Now because of this observer, you have to have a space here so that you at least get like this observer can move down here. But yeah, that is how the design works. And now let's move on to some quick notes. So let me quickly start with the notes for this episode. First of all, again, you need to have an air block here, like so that the observer can come down after it's off. Sorry for that, all that ums and ahs. And yeah, then you can add this iron trapdoor. It looks like a drain to me, and I think it's a pretty good addition to your shower. And then again, you need to have the levers here itself. And again, this dispenser needs to be filled with a water bucket, of course, or I don't know how it would work. And then you can basically edit all of the other blocks. This does not really matter. So personally, I built something like this so that you don't see the lever at first, but then you can activate it later if you want. And yeah, if it breaks, so if something like that happens, you just quickly power it and unpower it so that you quickly changes state and shuts off. That's what that's the note for this episode done. That is how you make a super cool shower in Minecraft. And if you like this episode, and if you add this to your base, make sure you check out my last episode. It was a drum set, and if you like this one, you could add a drum set to your house, and it would be super cool because then you can just randomly play it and make some tunes and dance to them. And if you want to check out some really cool contraptions, make sure you check out the Redstone Advent Calendar series for 2018. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Today we'll be making a trapdoor. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 10 of the Redstone Advent Calendar 2018. And today we'll be taking a look at a one white trapdoor. And since we have entered the double digits now, as a celebration I wanted to make something bigger than usual. So here's a special design for you all. We'll start with the showcase, and then I'll explain you the redstone, and then I'll tell you how and where you can use this. I also have some bonus steps at the end, so stay tuned. I'll quickly show you how this works. So when I open this chest, I basically fall down. That is how the design works. It's pretty straightforward actually. So but to reset it, you have to come in and open the chest again so that you can reset it, just like so. That is how you reset the thing. Now I'll quickly explain you the redstone behind this. So the redstone behind this design is actually quite repetitive. So as you see, I'll just quickly give you all the angles because we don't make tutorials in this series. So this is the Redstone Advent Calendar series, and because this is the Advent Calendar series, I'm not making any tutorials for these designs. So I'll just try and give you all the angles so that you can build this if you want. Now I'll explain you how this works. So what happens is, basically when there's a chest over here. So a chest is right over here. I'll just quickly put the chest there. Now this has to be a trap chest, and this has to be 2 wide. A lot of people just make 1 wide designs, and I think it's way too suspicious to make like a 1 wide turn into a chest, like so. So I think a 2 wide design is much better because it just looks quite normal and natural. So that is why my design is 2 wide. And then what happens is, when you open the chest, this piston goes down, activating this redstone line. And what that does is, so what happens first is basically these 2 pistons push out the block, pushing out these pistons out, and then 1 tick later, what happens is these torches turn off for a brief period of time, and then they re-extend. So that turning off is basically for retraction, it's not for extension actually. So when I open this chest, what happens is the floor retracts, and now you need the 2-tick delay so that it retracts, because you cannot retract an extended piston. That is why you need to have that delay there. And what we do is we basically activate them at the same time with the same redstone line, and this one activates 2 ticks 1 tick later than this one, and then we mirror it on the other side.
but this is not completely quiet. So when I open this chest, I can actually listen to this piston extending. So the person might get suspicious, or the player might get suspicious and might try to run back. And therefore, you can actually make this longer if you want. So this can be extended, I don't know, millions of blocks if you want. So yeah, that is what this design basically does and how it works. Again, I'll quickly give you a brief on how to make this. So all of these are sticky pistons. This is all the repeaters on the bottom part are set to 2 ticks. This ones are set to 1 tick. And then I'll just quickly give you a round again. And don't forget to add these torches. They are crucial for the design to work. If you don't add them, it won't be a flush design. It would just be like a normal design, and that's not interesting. Again, yeah, I'll just quickly give you a go around. You can pause the video if you want. Okay, that's the explanation done. Now let's quickly move on to some notes and bonus tips. There are a lot of notes in this episode, and they are very important, so don't skip any of them. And let's begin with our notes. First and the most common one, the world download for this world will be available on the 24th day of the restaurant advent calendar, and on Christmas we'll look at all the designs we have worked on. If you want me to make a tutorial on this, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Now this tip that I'm going to give you now is definitely the most interesting one and the most useful one. Now since this design only works with two wide floors, what you have to do is make the room look bigger, and it should not look as it's like 2 blocks wide. So what you do is you take some stairs and put them like so that you give it like some space. And then what you do is take some trapdoors and put them next or on the stairs so that you give even more space. So and you give a high ceiling to it using some slabs. And then what happens is it looks actually bigger than it is. So if I just quickly give you a comparison, I'll just quickly take out all the stairs and take out all the trapdoors, and immediately you will notice that the side looks much bigger, because it is kind of, but as you can see, this one looks much more spacious than this one. That's a very good tip, because if you have a bigger area, it would look less suspicious. Also, light it well so that it looks even more spacious. So this design is one wide, so I'll just quickly tell you what the one wide design is. It just looks basically like this slice. But the thing is, you have to connect both of these redstone dusts without any delay. So they need to activate on the same text so that this design would work. And that is what this redstone dust here does. So I connected it, and if you just want one, you can just remove all of these and it works just fine. So it is one wide, and you can make this tileable, but I don't know why you would make it tileable, because honestly this one is much better than a tileable design. Yeah, now I'll tell you about some uses for this. I'll just tell you a couple of uses, but there are hundreds of uses for this. So make sure you let everyone know down in the comment section below. So let's start. First of all, you could just make like a trap like I have done. So this is like a trap. So if someone tries to steal your items, they fall into the pit. Now you could make them fall through fall damage, or just put them into lava and burn all their items. But I would actually recommend you to use fall damage, because there is a chance that they might get your items through this, like so, and they might die with it. So if you just put some hoppers down so that they don't die due to fall damage, and they die due to fall damage, and you get all your items back, and you even get their items back. So it's a positive trade for you. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Now the second thing you could use this for is basically hidden entrance. You could use this as a hidden entrance. So normally you would have a lot of chests lying in your base, and you could just put this like 3 blocks wide, just as a special area, or just however you want to design it. And then what you could do is, even if your floor is like this big, it does not matter really, because you know where the entrance is, right? And then what you do is you just open the chest and you fall down into your secret lair. That are some couple of good reasons why you would make this design and why it excels at what it does. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below some better uses. That is how you make a one wide trapdoor in Minecraft. And if you want to learn some really cool circuits that you can put in your redstone contraptions, and some really cool redstone contraptions that you can put in your world, make sure you check out the Redstone Advent Calendar series for 2018. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, if you like the videos, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, make sure you subscribe because it really helps motivate me to make these videos. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today I have a showcase and tutorial of some item elevators. Today I have two designs for you. The one on the left is good for storage systems and the one on the right is good for everything else. So I would recommend this for anything but storage systems because this goes just way too fast for a storage system's ability to process items, but this one's great for storage systems. I mean, you could use this one, but this one's way faster and much smaller and easy to build, so why not this? Now I'll show you how each one of this works. So the one on the left, the sad thing is you cannot just directly put some items in the dropper. They have to come in through a hopper. So let me just quickly get some items, and I just put some there. Let's just put 32, and they'll start making their way up. Now as you can see, this is one line, but sadly it's not tileable this way. But if you want to make a tileable one, this one's a better bet. Now this one is also really slow. It's actually slower than hopper speed. As you can see, the items make their way up into the system. There's no losses and there's no item stuck in these droppers after the system's done working. And as you can see, all the 32 items come up. And now I'll show you how this works. Now this design on the right with the water is much quicker, and as you can, it does make some noise, but it's very fast. And as you can see, the items are making their way easily up here, and it's really quick, it's really fast. As you can see, all the items are shooting their way up. Also really compact, and if you just put a block there and just extend this by one block, it is also tileable. I'll just show you how to make that later. And as you can see, it's already done. It's actually really fast. It's faster than hopper speed, and all the 64 items make their way up. That was really quick. Now let's move on to the tutorial. So let's start with our tutorial 41 using droppers. So this is how the setup currently looks. You have your dropper facing upwards and a comparator coming out of it. And then you take a block and put it behind the comparator, and then you take a redstone torch and put it behind the block. And then you take some blocks and put them below, just one block below this redstone torch, and then you just put some blocks going one block below the previous block that we placed, and then you just put a block like that, one block below the dropper, and then you put a redstone torch on top of it so that it just clicks, and then you take some redstone dust and put it like that, 3 there. And then what you do is take some other blocks like that, and then just make a quick torch tower, just like so. Now you can make this from right y0 to right up to y till 56, and it would work just fine. And then what you do is just put the redstone torches on the blocks coming out, and then you put your droppers, and you are done. Now this will be your input. Now remember, you cannot directly put the items again into the dropper, and they will come up to this point. Let's just put a chest around here real quick. So this will be your output, and then I would recommend putting some torches here because then it reduces the light updates caused by these redstone torches, thus reducing the lag. Now let's move on to the tutorial for this thing. So let us begin with a tutorial for the water elevator. So this is how we currently start. There's your dropper facing upwards, and then you put a soul tin on top of it, and then you put a comparator coming out from it, just like so. Now this is the non-tileable version. I just show you the tileable one after this. It's just a couple of modifications, and then you just put your piston facing upwards. Now this needs to be a sticky piston, and then there needs to be an observer whose face is towards the soul stand block, and then you put another observer whose face is towards this observer but one block higher, and whose back is going into the soul stand block. And then you can put your blocks forming a tube around the soul stand block. Now this can be any blocks, literally. There's no problem with the type of blocks you use, so you can just quickly make this tube right like this. I'll just make it glass because it looks cool, and then I'll just put some hoppers here, just like so. Going into out from this, and then taking a chest and just putting it like there. And then what I would recommend is actually putting this a little higher and making a tube for this
items to come here, like so. Just covering up the block with the chest like that. So this is what you should make, and then just cover the top so that the items don't fly out. And then I would actually recommend putting a slab like so, so just the items come down real quick. And then what you want to do is just remove this block and fill all of this with water sources, just like so. So it makes a bubble column like that. And then actually the way you can use this is you can just put some ice and then just break it. That's not that difficult. And now this is it done. Now this is just a smart dropper, and then it drops items into this shoe and they go up. So let's just quickly show you that. I'll just put one item, just quickly throws it out. Now actually you need to cover all of these blocks with solid blocks so that the soul thread is not split out. That's what I just missed right there. Now it will work just fine. So remember, cover these blocks around the soul sand. Now let's move on to a couple of quick modifications you can make to this design to make it even more versatile. Now with all of this the same, just to make this styleable, what you can do, okay, first of all just cover this up, and then what you do is you just put a block behind your dropper, and then you put a block diagonal to it, and then you put a comparator going out from it, and then you take a steel piston and put it like that. Actually there's an item in there, and then you take an observer going into the repeater, and then an observer just looking into it, just the same system, one block backwards, and then you put an observer right there looking at this observer and going into this sourcing block just like before, and that's your system done. So when I put my item in here, it should work. Remember, cover all of these blocks around the soul sand. That's your system done. Now let's move on to a quick tip. Now if you want to make this using this item stream, so what happens is a lot of people just use water stream just to save on some iron. So you could use this item elevator with this as well. Just remember, just don't put a water source next to the slab. So what you do is you take your you keep your source in there, and then just put just some ice there so that items flow, and then you put a slab or a ladder or a sign there just to stop this water from flowing backwards. And then you can put a water source here, just don't put it here because it does not work. And then when you take some items and throw them in, they will flow below the slab, up through your stream, and down into the else. Oh, I forgot to mention, I mean it's not that it's not really needed, it's very obvious, but you can make these things right from Y level 0 up to 256. They just work really fine, really fast, especially this one. Now you know how to build item elevators for literally any situation in your Minecraft world. If you like this video, you will surely like my previous video on a custom number item dispenser. So you could just program it to throw a number of items and it will throw it to you. That is one wide and tileable as well. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello friends and fellow Minecrafters, it's me, Vardhan here, and today is day 6 of the Redstone Advent Calendar 2018. And today, we'll be taking a look at the smallest, one wide and tileable magic button. As you can see, this design is absolutely tiny and it has a volume of only 6 blocks. Now that is not including all the blocks that are extra. I mean, you kind of do need the input. If you count that, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 2, that's again 10 blocks, not that big. And so what, if you don't know what a magic button is, it's basically a floating block with a button on it, and then you just press the button and you get an input. So you cannot see the piston or anything here. So if there was a floor here, you won't even understand that something was under here. I just put all the carpets just like so, real quick, and if I press this button you get an input, and then you can hook this up to anything you want, a secret entrance or a hidden staircase maybe, right in corner of your screen. And yeah, that's what the magic button is. You get an output from it, and I'll just quickly explain you how this works. So I quickly explain you how this design works. So the thing is, when you press this button, this piston is actually powered, but it does not realize this. So there's quasi connectivity between them. So we need to update this piston, and that is what this circuit does. So there are basically two observers facing each other, creating an observer clock which keeps on powering and unpowering this hopper. As you can see, this hopper is being powered and unpowered. So whenever you press the button,
the piston gets an update and it says, oh, I'm powered, and then it extends and retracts when the button is not on. That is how this design works. That is the basic fundamental in the next one. Vardhan here, and today is day 17 of the Restaurant Advent Calendar 2018. And today we'll be taking a look at a super cool anvil replacer. Real quick before we start, this is a one wide and tileable design. So I'll quickly show you how this design works. So when an anvil breaks, you right click this node block and then you get another anvil. Now if an anvil is already there, what happens is you just get a broken anvil like this. And another thing, if you want to make it smooth or jittery or fast, that is coming up in the notes section ahead. Now I'll quickly explain you how the design works. Now this particular design is again one wide and tileable. So the way this works is when you hit the node block, this observer detects that node block changing and it gives out an output. Now this repeater can be set to anything but one tick, so it does not work with one tick, I believe. Yeah, as you can see, it's too fast for the repeater to sense it. So it can be 2 ticks, and that is really fast. And then what happens is it turns off the storage, briefly unpowering the piston, letting an anvil fall, and then quickly powering it so that we get the new anvil in this place. Now you can fill up, like this is like the reloading system, so you can fill up multiple of these like so, and these the number of anvils you have left depends on how many anvils you have here. That is how the system works, and you could change this if you want. Now if you want to have like a flush design, so it's like only on the floor, you could build something what I am doing right now. So you put a restaurant just there, and then you take a block there, and then you put a lever on top of it. Now what that does is it makes it a flush design. So if you have like an enchantment table and you combining items and this breaks, you could just flick the lever and get a new one. Breaks, flick the lever, get a new one. So that is how you make like a flush one. Now let's move on to the quick notes. So let's quickly start with the tips for this episode. First of all, this piston can be any piston. It does not need to be a normal piston. You could even make a sticky piston if you want, but I don't know why you would do that. And then you can set this repeater to 2, 3 or 4 ticks. Any of them works just fine. 2 ticks is fast and 4 ticks is pretty smooth. As you can, the fourth one is pretty smooth, and this is personally what I will be using. Now you can put any block here that causes an update to the observer. Personally, again, I will be using a node block because you even get a little bit of music out of it. Yeah, that is all the notes for this episode. Done. That is how you make a super cool anvil replacer in Minecraft. And if you want to check out a super cool secret base, check out the last episode. And if you want to learn some really cool contraptions that you can put in your world, make sure to check out this Advent Calendar 2018. But anyways guys, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. Also, I'm recording this video as well for the second time because even this footage was jittery. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Should I record it again or should I just post what I want? Bye bye.
Hello, fellow school gamers. My name is Vardhan. Today we'll be touring a redstone mountain base that I made. Yeah,